Pin a chat or a message. Got it. Hi, everyone. Even
Good
though
morning.
most people are probably still in bed right now on a Saturday morning.
It's 8 o'clock.
It's 7:53. Most people sleep in on Saturdays. We are not most people.
We technically slept in, so.
We did. I didn't get out of bed until like, what, 6:30, 6:40? But wanted to hop on real quick. We know there will probably be no one joining us right now, but we're hoping you guys will watch this later. We actually have a whole crew of guys coming to the farm to work, what, a little over half a day?
As long as we can have them. So.
What are they going to do? Oh, good morning, see? These are all of our homesteading peeps who are like taking care of farm animals and have to tend to the sourdough. Good morning, everyone. Lisa, Sherry, Iris, Amber. Hello, hello, hello. What a surprise. I know. Well, I was going to make a community post, and I'm like, you know what? It would be funner to just do a live, even if y'all...
More fun, maybe?
More fun. Quit making fun of me. For you guys to come back and watch this. So, yes, hello, hello. So, what are the guys going to help you do today? I guess kind of explain. Maybe I did explain this in the vlog yesterday, but I don't think so. So, like, it's a ministry out of a surrounding town, yeah?
Yeah, there's a ministry called Complete in Christ Ministries out of Searcy, Arkansas. And they help rehabilitate gentlemen that are coming out of prison and give them jobs and pour into them. And anyways, they are sending a group of guys to help us haul dirt and wood chips and backbreaking stuff that I just don't have time to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so we are planting the Lysianthus today. So I ordered 500 Lysianthus plugs from Farmer Bailey. They look great, but apparently you're supposed to like transplant them out when they're super small. And we had the crazy storms, which thank you guys for thinking about us. We had like small hail, but it didn't affect anything.
no.
So that was great and nothing crazy. And so it kind of brought in a little bit of a cool snap. We were in like the 80s and now we're going down to the 60s. So we're going to try to get the Lysianthus planted today so that they can have a few cool days to adjust before it starts to like pop up and the temperatures start to rise. Next weekend, we're also going to be headed to the Okie Homesteading Expo in Pryor, Oklahoma.
Yeah, excited about that.
So Nathan has, what, 2 more rows of wood chips in the main tunnel and 2 more beds to prep. And those need to be done before I can plant the Lizzie today. So that's the top priority. And then one of my interns and I were top dressing the beds in the food tunnel, but you can't get a piece of equipment in there. So you're literally like pulling the gorilla cart to the front of the high tunnel and then shoveling through. It's a very tedious job. So we talked about after our summer crops, we have to replace the plastic on that tunnel this year. We're going to take the end walls and reconfigure it to where we can have a double door like on the flower tunnel, and we can actually get a piece of equipment in there.
Yeah, there's a 2x6 across the door, so you can't get a wheelbarrow through the front door. I mean, it's
Lisa says funner is a word. Lisa, I'm with you. The cutest pregnant woman ever.
Thank you.
Thank you. I know, I'm feeling so good. And it was so funny. So I just had this idea of like, one, you know, we kind of told you guys why we've been absent. We've got a lot going on. But I just had this idea of like, what if I could just show you guys of like what a day looks like in the springtime? Like, I would say spring is the biggest grind, even aside from summer, because summer the systems are set up and then it's just like early morning harvesting, some maintenance during the day, but it's so hot that we're not spending a bulk part of our day outside. We're like reshifting to other projects and then we'll go back out in the afternoon. And it was so funny. So many of y'all were like, do you do anything for fun? Or like, I'm like, it's just the spring grind.
It's a season.
That's exactly what I responded to a YouTube comment this morning. You'll be,
Thank you.
and you're welcome. And I said, it's just the spring grind, but I know it's just a season and it will pass. And so that is so true. But wanted to hop on here because, like I said, I was going to make a community post, and I'm planning to get some videos of us planting the Lysianthus, what that looks like. Probably a lot of the content you'll see from me are very short form teaching contents, or kind of vlogs like I did on Friday, where I'm just like sharing what I'm doing and going back over and voice overing them. I find, although I feel great, I feel so great, the shortness of breath is for real. Like, so trying to do a task and record and talk during that task, I'm like, y'all, sound like a herd of elephants or something. And so I'm just trying to think through like the ones that I'm actually physically doing stuff. I should probably like change that. So we do have some fun, but they're probably just going to be shorter ones. You might have also seen we've been cross-posting to YouTube Shorts, although that's not really my jam. I know some people enjoy that, so we're trying to get some of that out the door as well.
We're working on it.
We're
She's
not like we
working
got
on it.
anything else going on. I know Nathan was like, can you teach me how to do this? And I'm like, it might just be easier for me to set out time to do it than to try to teach you. Good morning! Come here!
We have our first special guest of the morning.
Look, you look so cute, but we're on live. You want to say hi to everybody? Say hi, friend. See all these people right here? Did you sleep good? Yeah. Oh, you're so sweet, Julie.
I kept the house cold last night.
Nathan woke up snuggling me because he was freezing, and I guess I was too because I took all the covers. Oh, you're such a good snuggler. Can I put you on the recliner for just a minute, and then I'll come back and snuggle you?
Here, I'll hold it.
You want to tell Daddy something? What a cutie. Okay. I'm getting hot, y'all. Oh, let Charlie sleep, okay? Let Charlie sleep. Okay, so this is what I was going to share with you guys on the community post, and I decided to do a live. Every single year, we do an annual pre-order launch of our garden tool belts. These are made locally by a friend in Conway, Northridge Designs. It's genuine leather. One of my favorite things about our tool belts is that most tool belts come on a leather belt, and you have to buy either like a right side or a left side, and sometimes I switch sides depending on what it is that I'm doing. And also they seem really big, and so you have to wrap them a million times, and I just don't love that. So ours is actually just the pouch, and you stick it on your own belt, and you put it on whatever side you want. I've had this one for, what, babe, like 2 years?
What?
This tool belt?
Oh yeah, those things will last forever.
Yeah, it's actually gotten better the more I've broken it in. But you have a section here for your phone, a section here for your pruners. I keep usually a pen, knife, and tags, whatever's relevant right here. And then I have my rubber bands for when I'm banding flowers, which is really nice. And so this pre-order, we don't actually, this is the OG. This was a gift for me. And then we started working with the guy. So we have 4 new designs this year. We have the dahlia, the sunflower, just like a single dahlia, a single sunflower, and then we have 2 different like wildflower prints and designs. We're gonna open it up for 10 days. So we'll close it on the 25th. That way anyone coming to the Oki homesteading, I'm gonna bring my tool belt so they can try it on and see. But as soon as the orders get placed, we send them all to Emmett, and he starts working on them. But it is about a 3 to 4 week lead time from when you place it to when you can expect to get it.
Depending on how many we sell. You know.
Right. So that's what I wanted to tell you guys about. They did go up by $5 because our price went up by $10. Yeah, so our price went up. They're $135, but you guys, this is my most used garden tool of all time. So
Puts it on every day, literally
every day. Although, listen, I don't know.
We may have to get a new belt.
Well, when I bought this belt, I had it handmade from Etsy, And it was a little tight anyways, but it was so beautiful. And now I'm like, I can have it at my waist. So I think I'm gonna have to invest in another belt. But you guys can see what it looks like. Super great, super handy, especially if you're just like walking in the fields, deadheading, pruning, whatever it is that you're doing. So I know it is an investment. I will say this is one of those investments that have been totally worth it for me, and it'll last you, kind of like some other things. So worth it. I'll put, once I end the live, I'll put the link to order in the description, and it'll give you all the details about, you know, the sizes, the specs, all the good things on that. But I did want to share this with you guys because we do one in the spring. So usually in March, we try to do it to where you would get it before you'd be harvesting those first things. Did Charlie come in here? Someone said, I spied Charlie. I missed that. And then we won't do it again until the holidays. So we'll usually relaunch during the holidays where people can order them as Christmas gifts. But a great Mother's Day gift. June told me she wanted a tool belt and her own belt. And so I'm trying to figure out, how do you order a belt for a 4-year-old? That is not an easy task. Like, I have an extra.
It's not an easy task, and yeah.
I know. So June, you know, works with us every day, and she's like the best helper of all time. But since she's been harvesting tulips with me and doing all these things, and she sees me with my pruner, she's like, I want my own tool belt and my own belt, Mom. And so, and this thing takes up like half of her leg. But I'm having a hard time finding her a belt that fits. So, anyways, good morning, Junie B, and of course, Jill and Nathan. Hello, hello. So that was pretty much what I wanted to just chat with you guys about. I'm sure you're saying adorable to the
To me.
to the kiddos.
I get it often.
You get it often. Okay, anything else we need to bring them up to speed on or chat with them about? Oh. She's still pregnant.
She's still pregnant.
First thing I looked this morning. This has been all I have been immersed in. This is the Discovering Dahlias book from Florette. We will be waking up our tubers soon. I've got some that are going in the cottage garden that I'm waking up today. But what did we do on our date night when we were up for hours waiting out the storm?
We were picking out new dahlia tubers.
That is no easy feat.
Date night in bed, buying dahlia tubers.
Figuring out what is really our price for this. What can we dahlia tubers from the first tubers I bought 2 years ago to now. Whoa, it is a market. Let me tell you right now, it is a market that is quickly expanding. And some of these rare varieties that we want to offer in our collections one day, we really want, but like some of them are like $30 a tuber, and so we're trying to justify, like, if we buy that at that, are we able, you know, to really resell that? But yeah, so we're in dahlia mode, prepping spaces.
We also had a date night last night after dinner, an hour and a half date night with Sunflower Steve.
We did.
That's our date nights.
It really is. We have little date nights with Sunflower Steve all the time. He was packing seeds, and we were a good distraction for him. And I was telling Nathan the other day, when I wanted to get into farming, vegetable farming, I jumped in, but I also interned. And there were a lot of people that I volunteered my time with. And I had like local, I would say, mentors where I could see their operations. I could ask questions. And it was just, I'm a visual learner, so that made things easier for me to understand how to do it and the systems I'd want to put in place. When it comes to flowers, and some of the flowers, like, we're the only dahlia growers in our area. And certain things like, yeah, that are selling locally in our area. I'm sure there's plenty of people that are growing them at a home scale. There's really no one that I can mentor under. And I have questions, like, we want to eventually have like seeds that we're offering and tubers that we're offering. And obviously we're focusing a lot on education. And so that's always been part of the plan. And now I'm in a space where I need to start thinking about that. So like the dahlias, I feel like I have a good grip on. Then it's like, okay, if we're talking about selling seeds, I don't know the first thing about that. I don't know anyone around here that's doing that. So we called up our trusty friend Steve, and one was just like, am I crazy for thinking I could do this at a small scale with my family? And really, like, do I have the space to be able to grow flowers and save the seeds? And he had a lot of really good advice for us.
He's a wealth of knowledge, so.
Yeah. So that was what our date was. You have the cutest family. Congrats on the upcoming arrival. Thank you so much. Both y'all drinking coffee now. I need another cup. This is my 1 cup of the day.
Yeah.
And I warm it up about 50 times before I actually finish it. But I'm getting in the 1 cup, okay? I live near an award-winning dahlia farm where he grows hundreds of varieties. That is wild. We could never do that on our scale. We're even trying to think through to like what areas could we even turn to make into more dahlia space.
We have to get rid of some animals and change some of our paddocks or pastures into.
That would be so hard because they're all on a slope.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
We're in the vision stage, right? Like we knew when I was actually looking this up the other day. In 2020, I grew my first cut flower garden and sold. And that's when I really had this, I think I wasn't getting burnt out with vegetables. I just wanted something, I wanted a new challenge. I really like flowers sparked a lot of joy. And I thought, I feel like I can really do this. And I feel like I would really enjoy doing this. So I went and looked back on photos, and 2020 was the first year I sold flowers, and I had only grew zinnias. It was the only flower I grew, the only flower I sold. And it was a lot of fun. Now here we are 4 years later. And then it was about 2.5 years ago, I decided I wanted to start growing dahlias. And I wanted to curate collections for Southern growers. And I would say around that time too, I thought, well, maybe one day we could do seeds on a small scale. And really, you know, our mercantile right now is a home and garden mercantile, but the heart of what Whispering Willow is we want to educate, encourage, and inspire. So we want education to be a huge part of what we focus on, whether that's free resources, paid for courses, guides, on-farm workshops, a lot of that. And so we've spent the last several years trying to transition the farm to a place where we can do that. And that looks like switching the online shop quite a bit to just have like, obviously we'll have stuff on there all the time, but we'll do big annual dahlia launches and seed launches to where it's like we're all in for that short period of time, but then we're more so on the farm, growing the things, hosting workshops, prioritizing more education and content versus Nathan shipping out orders all the time and us having so much on the shop. And so everything we've been doing has been super intentional, but nothing about it is like, okay, I'm just going to decide to change our farm, you know, to cut flowers for profit, do all this stuff. Like it takes a lot of time, preparation,
Money.
a lot of money, honestly, because so many systems were already in place when we bought our farm, which was great. But then when you start to change those systems, it's a lot of undoing things just to fit our needs.
It was set up for a homestead, which,
Yep.
you know, the previous owners, that's exactly what they do. And now we're having to transition it from a homestead to
Yeah.
a, you know, functional farm.
Yeah, which has been fun. I would say the back part of our farm's looking great. It's the front part that's like taking a back seat. But
There's only so many hours.
I
in the
know
day.
that's what we were just talking about. It's like at what point are we like, okay, we just need to bite the bullet and like hire someone to help us get to where we need to get to. Otherwise it's going to take us a lot longer to get there.
And
so
it's not just a someone, it's equipment, right?
Yeah.
Some
It's a
heavy
lot of
equipment
things, yeah.
to prepare, you know, taking down fencing, taking down certain raised beds. There's
there's a lot.
yeah.
I literally just bought some dahlia tubers from someone local to me. So excited to add more varieties to my new gardening addiction. Yeah, they're stunning. I mean, they're so stunning. I started my first flower garden this year and got some dahlia tubers, and holy moly, they are pricey. What do you mean by waking them up? I'm still researching everything, but it's so much. They are. So when I first bought mine, granted, when I first bought mine, I bought from like Longfield Gardens, which is a pretty big operation. but I was spending like $9 on a tuber. And even then, when you think about like what seed prices were then for like a pack of flower seeds, I was like, oh my gosh, $9. So we invested $800 and bought all the tubers that we needed. And I don't even think that was tubers. Like, I think it was tubers, it was markers, it was like everything we needed to like, you know, launch the Dahlia project. And now it's like 800 bucks wouldn't get me anywhere. And now that we are going to be this coming spring, we will sell our first Dahlia tubers. We have to grow enough of each variety to have enough to curate collections.
And hold some back for us to replant.
Yeah, for like breeding stock or whatever. So that's another thing that we are like, we can't just order one dahlia. We have to order like multiple tubers to produce hopefully X amount. So yeah, it is an investment. I would say at a home scale, if you just buy a couple here and there, no big deal. When you're thinking about trying to sell the blooms like we are, and ultimately we're growing them for the purpose of tuber production, totally different ball field that we are trusting. You know, I think I told you last night, I was like, I'm just trusting God that like this is what he called us to, and like it's scary, and sometimes you just have to be scared and you just have to trust that like this is gonna work out. So as far as waking up, what I do, so they have been stored in a cooler. So once we divide them and everything like that, we store them in the cooler. We actually start, so you can take that dahlia tuber, and once you're free of your frost, immediately plant it out in your garden with like the eye up, right? Because that's what's gonna produce your actual dahlia. We, because we are on such a tight scale and production is so much what we do, we actually pre-start all of our dahlias. So there's a couple reasons that we do that. We have 5-inch pots. It does take up a lot of soil, but it has been very lucrative for us. And so we wake them up first, meaning we're starting them. We're letting them sprout. So the ones that may be rotted or didn't produce, we're not putting them out into the garden to then realize they didn't produce and we have an empty hole. So only the ones that have produced and already, they'll put off foliage to the top. I wonder if I can show you guys what that looks like. I was just looking at that. So one, we only have the best things that go out. And then 2, we're gonna be taking cuttings this year. So you can actually take cuttings from your tuber and make more plants. And since production is so much what we're doing, and here we go. All right, so we can, I don't know if y'all can see this. So we will plant our tubers in here, and then they will create these little babies. So we'll either take these and immediately stick them out in the garden when the time's right and we know this is a viable plant that will produce, or we're gonna cut them off. And we're gonna dip it in some rooting hormone and we're gonna replant that. Now this tuber's still fine, it'll still produce again, but we do have a select variety that we're taking cuttings from to try to grow, to try to double what we grow without having to spend that much money. So there's a few reasons that we're doing that. Where do you get your cups from? I love them. This one is from Pots by Am in upstate New York.
This one's Old Dog Pottery here in Arkansas. And these are our friends Dell and Leanne. They make beautiful pottery. And they have, I talked to them yesterday, they have a drop coming very soon.
Yeah.
So.
Man of the Red Earth Crew said hello. What's up? Nathan just made me the best little soil mix.
Yeah, I just picked up half a dozen more bags. So.
Oh my gosh. I live in Oregon and we have the Swan Island Dahlia Farm and it's award winning. They are beautiful.
Yeah, we've been talking for the last couple of years about making a trip up in that area and just seeing, you know, that's where a majority of the big dahlia farms are, is Washington and Oregon, and
which is why we have troubles, because they don't grow very well. So that's something else we're realizing is like certain varieties do better in the heat. We're trying to prioritize growing those varieties. Ashley says, speaking of the previous owners, do they come visit? Do y'all stay in touch? I love keeping up with both of y'all's channels. We stay in, you just talked to Jeremiah last week.
Yeah. You know, Jeremiah's as busy as I am. You know, I mean, if you guys follow them, you know, they have tons of stuff going on. But occasionally we'll send memes back and forth or funny reels from Instagram. But I talked to him the other day. So we still keep in touch.
We don't visit as often just because, I mean, they've got Beulah going and they have a lot. So I think it's just really hard for both of us to leave. But we definitely stay in touch. We've been friends with the Sowards for for years.
They've got some big things coming. We don't watch their channel, so like I don't know what they're talking about telling you guys, but he told me that they're only doing one conference this year because they've got so much going on, and they don't have the time to do some of this traveling, and then we do a lot of traveling, and so adding in another trip to South Carolina just doesn't seem feasible right now.
We're cutting back this year, so we have Okie at the end, like next week. I'll be at Farm Where You Live in
Asheville
in April. And then we will have the Homestead Festival in Tennessee in June. And that is it pre-baby. So cut down quite a bit.
And then we have one or two after.
Then we have an Ozark homesteading one in Missouri after, like in
September.
Yeah, something like that. Jess just got some goatee girls, and they are very close to start building. Okay, so we did see that, and I was like, I got to call her because she got back in the goat business. And look at Tito out there. He's just hopping from bed to bed. No, I did see that. That's so sweet. I am missing our goats so bad. I was talking to Rebecca Lamb this morning. She runs the school at Hardison Mill and does like the homemakers conference and does a lot with the Homestead Festival. And we were talking about that, and I was like, these cool spring mornings I am missing so bad, having my goats to milk. And it's hard, and you have to know, like, what can I lay down to be able to pursue this thing well. Nathan's been like, we're slendering down our pig herd. We're doing so much to be able to really focus. And sometimes that means saying no to things that you feel like you want to say yes to. But it's just not feasible to do it all.
I miss the goat milk, but I don't miss the goats.
Well, I know, because you would be the one that would have to milk them, soon. So we're getting there, y'all. But okay, well, this was fun. We actually have people who will be here in like 10 minutes. So cheers. Happy Saturday. Yeah. So great to see you all. If June was here, she would cheers you. That's her favorite thing to do. But the Toolbelt pre-order, 10-day pre-order through the 25th. I'll put all the details in the description. But gosh, what a joy to spend our morning with you.
You guys come see us at Okie Homesteading Festival. If you have never been and you're in the Central United States, it is such a fun event put on by amazing people. There are several families that are putting this on. They all have YouTube channels. They're all fantastic people, fantastic families. Yeah. It's just a very fun family event.
And I'm going to be speaking all about sourdough. You guys know I'm a sourdough, can I say junkie? I feel bad saying that, so that doesn't seem right. But you get what I'm trying to say. And the Homemakers Conference in October, I spoke about it for the first time, and everyone went like crazy on it. Sourdough's one of those things that's kind of hard to teach in like this short presentation, and you're not hands-on. So then Okie was like, we'd love for you to talk about sourdough. The Homestead Festival, like, we want you to come back and talk about sourdough. And I was like, I am here for it. So we're going to be talking all about sourdough. We're going to have Otis, our sourdough supplies. We're also going to have a booth with Bootstrap Farmer. So my pots have been out of stock because you guys are crazy. My signature collection, such a blessing. And so they ran out of stock, which is something Bootstrap is not familiar with. And so he talked to our guy at Bootstrap yesterday, and everything's supposed to be back in stock for the festival. So even if you guys can't make it, I'll pop on there and let you guys know, because I've been posting about them and then getting all these messages like they're still out of stock. So hopefully in the next week or so, they will be back in stock, and you guys can have some beauty in your greenhouses.
Oh, yeah.
But, all right, you guys, have a blessed day. We love you guys. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you for your time.